So today is going to be a new video on my everyday makeup drawer. I am filming an intro kind of sitting this way because I am getting over a cold and I'm going to try and get through this without losing my voice or sneezing or coughing all over you guys. But I wanted to come in here and refresh this makeup drawer because today is the first day that I've actually felt somewhat decent and felt like maybe potentially putting on some makeup this week. So I thought, you know what, this drawer has been the same for quite a while now and I'd like to refresh it before I feel the urge to put on some makeup again. So that is the plan for today. I want to go through what was in here, talk about what worked, what didn't, and then we will go ahead and shop my stash for some new products to put in here. So I'm just going to start front to back, kind of work my way through the drawer like I did before. Let's focus first on this drawer here. I had a lot of concealers in here because I was trying to make up my mind about a lot of them, and I have some definite opinions having used these for well over a month now. So for the ColourPop concealers, I like how these go on. I don't like the fact that they dry down almost 2 shades darker on me. So the challenges I have is that I have both, let's see, this is Fair Neutral and Fair. Fair Neutral is significantly lighter here, if you can see that. This looks too light on me when I put it on, but then seems to dry to a color that's okay. This one looks good on me, but then sometimes I feel like my under eyes look dark after using it. So I'm really torn on these because I like the finish of them and I like how they look on my eyes. I just don't like this whole color changing, darkening effect that I get when I use them. So I will probably keep these in my collection and try and use them up, but I don't know as if I'll be repurchasing them once I do. Another one that I think I'm going to try and use up is the Super Stay Better Skin. I don't know if I will repurchase this. The shade is too dark to go underneath my eyes effectively, but it did work pretty well to conceal blemishes on my face. One that I surprised at how much I loved, this is the e.l.f. Maximum Coverage Concealer. I flippin' love this stuff. It goes on underneath your eyes and it almost feels like it's going to be hydrating, but then it sets down. It doesn't sink into any fine lines. It's just, it has really good coverage. I don't think it's as maximum coverage as like the Tarte Shape Tape, but I definitely think this is probably one of the best concealers in my collection and I'm kind of shocked by it. One that did not work out for me, this was a little sample. This is the Hey Honey Trick and Treat Active Propolis Concealer. I thought this was interesting because it had skincare benefits to it, but ultimately it was just way too dark. Like it was, I don't know if you can, how well you'll be able to see this, but it was too yellow and just several shades too dark for me to use. This is gonna be a pass for me. This is a concealer that stays in here all the time. If I talked about things that stay in this drawer all the time in my first video, I'm not gonna touch on them this time because I just don't wanna be repetitive every single month. If you are curious about my feelings of some of those items, I will link my first video down below where I actually talk about them in more depth, but this concealer and this Laneige lip mask stay in here, as will this Skin Iceland Berry Lip Fix. It's not my favorite lip balm, but I think it's good. Some brow products here that just didn't work out for me. This is the Brow Archery Brow Fiber Gel, and this one is just, it's not a great color. It's a little too much of a warm brown on me. And then it kind of left my brow hairs shiny, which I also didn't love. And then this one I really struggled with as well. This is from e.l.f. This is their, ooh, I don't know what this is. I'll have to put this on the screen. This is in medium. I can't get on board with these wands. It's the tiniest little wand of life. Like, it's so tiny. But yet it's really long. It left my brow hairs glossy, and then I had a really hard time applying it because the whole thing was so long. I don't know. I couldn't get on board with this one. I didn't feel like it did anything to build volume. I didn't feel like it was a good color. I don't know, not a fan. These two are ones that always stay in here. Brow Archery Duo from Soap & Glory and my Make Me Brow from Essence. I have a lot of mascaras in here. These are the same mascaras that I had last time. Same story as my video from last time. I'm gonna keep all of these in here and try and work my way through them. So don't expect to see a lot of mascara changes from me for the time being. I really wanna use up what I have in here. Over here, my Urban Decay Primer Potion stays in here. I also have been using up my Milani eyeshadow primer. I don't hate this, but I don't love it as much as this because it's clear and I prefer something that has a little bit of a color to it. I have this little Wet n Wild Ultimate Highlighter for your brows. I bought this because I had seen, I think it was Jessica Braun maybe, talk about using this as a waterline pencil versus a brow highlighter, and I actually did use this several times to brighten my inner rim, and I did like it quite a bit. My Physicians Formula eye boosters stay in here. The black one is in the other room. I will pull it back in here though. These were two that I tried. This was the Master Precise by Maybelline. This is one of their liquid liners. This is in the shade Stellar Sand. Okay, so I didn't think I was gonna love this color very much. I didn't think it was gonna work for me, but I actually ended up really liking it for a subtle, slightly, I don't know, it just ended up being a really cool color the 2 times that I wore it. So I do like this. I'm gonna keep this in my drawer and reach for it when I want an interesting liner option. This I loved. This is from Sydney Grace. This is one of their liquid eyeshadows. It's in a little squeezy tube and it's gorgeous. Like, it is one of the prettiest liquid eyeshadows I have ever seen. Like, it's absolutely stunning. It lasted on the eyes incredibly well. This is the color, gosh, I don't know what the color is. It doesn't have it on here. I will put it up on the screen. I will look up what color I ordered, but I really like these and I will probably purchase more of these the next time I purchase from Sydney Grace. So I had some primers back here. The rest of this stuff stays back here. Some just lip miscellaneous makeup products, and then also my sunscreen. So I had 3 primers that I was playing around with. One that I absolutely adored was the Maybelline Master Prime. This is their Hydrating Smooth Base. I adore this. I don't necessarily think that is extending the life of my makeup, but in the wintertime when my skin is dry, it does an awesome job of adding some extra hydration as well as smoothing my skin. So this is a real winner to me. I adored this. One that I was kind of like, on. This is the No Problem Primer from Touch in Seoul. This is a Korean brand. This just felt like a very slippy, slightly greasy silicone primer. You know how some silicone primers can almost feel kind of oily to the touch? That's how this one felt to me. This one's got pretty good reviews and a lot of people swear by it. This was not my favorite, so I actually think I'm probably gonna pass this one along. The final one that I was testing is actually the new primer from Physicians Formula. This is their Spotlight Illuminating Primer, and in my comments for my last video, somebody said that they had heard this was a dupe for the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, which I actually do have, and I think they are exactly right. They do look very, very similar as far as tone and even texture, and I think they get even more similar the more you blend them out. So there is the Becca one, and there is the Physicians Formula one. Don't necessarily think I have the best lighting here. What I would say is these are absolutely, I think, dupes for one another. I know Tati didn't care for this Physicians Formula primer, but I actually really, really like it. Okay, scooting over to the center drawer, let's talk foundations first. This is the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I love this. This one actually feels like you're putting something hydrating and light and water-like on your skin. Like, it feels like it's giving your skin an extra oomph of hydration, not through a heavy cream, but from something that feels very lightweight. It's really bizarre. I've not used a foundation quite like this before, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. It does have a giant doe foot applicator. The other thing I would say about this is that this is probably going to only give you a medium coverage. If you just dot this around your face, it's going to be kind of light. If you use a heavier hand, which you absolutely can, it never looks cakey. You can probably get to medium. It's probably never going to get you past medium. This little Dr. Jart BB cream, I actually used this up. I did really like this, but not necessarily more than I like my IT Cosmetics CC cream or some of my other Korean BB creams. So whereas I like this, I don't think it's going to displace my love of any of the others. Then the last foundation I tried was actually from Laneige. This is another Korean beauty brand. This is the BB Cushion Pore Control. So this is actually a mattifying cushion, which is a new thing for me. The packaging is stunning. I just think I've tried this at the wrong time of the year. The shade's not bad on me, but my skin has been more dry because it's wintertime, and I'm not enjoying a more mattifying foundation. So I do want to keep this. I liked the coverage. It's a nice, healthy, medium coverage, but I want to try this when my skin is getting a little bit more oily or in the summertime where I like something that's maybe a soft matte foundation. I was trying the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed. I don't like this. It's a little sample size. It's very, very powdery. If you can see that, it's gotten all over the place. I don't think it did anything for my pores. It kind of just made my skin look really matte. And kind of dead. I don't know, I did not enjoy this, so this is gonna be a pass for me. I was also using my e.l.f. This is their finishing powder in Fair Light. I do really enjoy this powder. This is one of those powders that never makes your skin look cakey at all. Just really light and smoothing, sets your makeup. But I mean, just for example, so I just swirled my finger in here. Just for comparison, look how much more cakey the Bye Bye Pores looks than that kind of lightweight e.l.f. one. So that's what I'm talking about as far as like cakey versus smooth. Love this e.l.f. one still. We'll probably rotate some other powders in for the time being, but definitely would recommend this one. Let's grab a couple powders back here. This is the Wowder from Glossier. I was trying this. I love the packaging. It kind of opens up and it's got a little mesh screen, so it's very easy to use. Just kind of tap your brush in there. My problem with this is that it is tinted. This is their lightest tint, and it definitely is too dark of a color for me to set my under eyes. But it does work well to set my face. So I did really like this. It is a talc-free powder. I think it's smoothing on the skin, helps to maybe minimize pores a little bit. So I did enjoy this powder quite a bit, but every time I put it under my eyes, it just made my eyes too dark. So I will probably keep this in here and use it to set my face. Just know that it's not going to work as well to set my under eyes as, say, my Cover FX custom or perfect setting powder. And then the other powder I had in here was this Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder. This one, to be honest, I didn't really play with that much. I think I may have used it once. So to be honest, I think I'm going to leave all three of these back here for the next round. So let's talk bronzers, because there was only two that I was playing with and I had way too many blushes this go round. So two bronzers for this time. One is the Balm Desert. This was the matte one that I had pulled in. I continue to really enjoy this one. It's a great color. It's not too orange on my skin. It's almost a little cool toned. So I did really enjoy this. And then one that I actually was surprised at how much I loved. This is the Revlon Bronze Beauty. This is a satin bronzer. It's a really tiny pan size, but I made it work, and I really enjoyed this one. It's one of the ones that doesn't swatch well at all when you use your finger and try and like swatch it on your hand. It doesn't look like it's going to show up at all, but it actually went on my skin beautifully. It had a lovely sort of satin texture. I'm going to put both these back, but they were both good bronzers for me this go round. And here's my obnoxious amount of blushes. So ColourPop, I don't know the color because they never put them on the back of the packaging, and I forgot to save the sticker that was on the box. But it is a really pretty peachy color. I did enjoy this. I am going to hang on to it. This one from Lottie London, this is the shade Drake. It's a really pretty sort of shimmery peach color. I did really enjoy that. I'm going to hang on to it. This is one of my favorite winter shades from Lorac. This is Chroma. It's sort of a muted mauve-y plum color. I really enjoyed this in the wintertime, and I'm definitely going to keep it. Another one that I enjoyed that I'm going to keep, this is the Just Natural blush from LA Girl. This is a really nice matte formula. This is a very sort of neutral peach color, so I'm going to hang on to this. And then this is from Tarte. This is the Feisty shade. This is a little mini sample. I think this was the birthday gift last year. It's a really nice neutral sort of, I don't know, just natural blush color. I did like this. I'm gonna hang on to it. And now onto a few that I'm just kind of torn on. Okay, this Too Faced blush, this is in Justify My Love. I struggled to apply this and not have it go on and like stick to my foundation in a weird way. I don't know if it was just my application technique, but I tried it twice and both times I felt like it was kind of skipping and patchy, and I don't know, it's got tiny glitter particles in it. I have a different shade from them that I actually really enjoy, but to be honest, this blush now kind of scares me because I've tried it twice and both times I really hated how it looked on my skin. And it's not the color, it's that it like clung weird. I don't know. I think I'm gonna pass this on along. This is Rosa Romantica by Bolani. This is really a blush topper even on me. I could wear it on its own. It's very, very glowy, but to be honest, I have other natural, really glowy blushes that I like. Rose Champagne from Wet n Wild in particular. So I think I'm going to pass this one on as well. This Physicians Formula Happy Booster. This is in Rose. I really actually did like this. So this is an example of a pink blush that blended out really well on my skin. I really wish their packaging wasn't so freaking bulky, but I think I'm going to hang on to this for the time being. And then I cheated with these. So these were not part of what you saw me add in last time, but I saw Kathleen Lights talking about these Burt's Bees blushes. I already own one of them, but she was in particular talking about these two colors. This one here is Bare Peach, and then this one is Toasted Cinnamon, and these were shades I hadn't really thought I wanted, to be honest. And then I saw her talk about them and I'm like, oh, maybe I do want them. Here's what I've discovered. I liked Bare Peach, and then this Toasted Cinnamon that worked so well on her just looks strange on me. So I am gonna pass Toasted Cinnamon along, and I am going to keep this peachy shade because I did really enjoy this. I really only had two things in here. One was this Revolution liquid highlighter. Okay, super, and this is in the shade Starlight. This is clearly trying to dupe the Cover FX custom cover drops. I actually really liked this. So I felt this was actually a little less metallic and a little easier to work with than the custom cover drops. It blended out into my skin really, really well. Almost like this formula a little bit better than the custom cover drops, which set really quickly and can almost be a little challenging to work with at times. And then this is the Sofx Makeup Revolution palette. This just came to Ulta. I like this one. So this has two sort of more natural pearly highlighters that are more subtle for daytime, and then it's got some more really intense highlighters, some interesting purples and pinks. I can't wear these three shades here. As far as palettes go, this is actually one that worked out fairly well for me. So I do think I'm gonna hang on to this one. This is the ColourPop All I See Is Magic Shadow Palette. I like this. It's not my favorite ColourPop palette that they've ever done, but I did make some pretty looks with it, so I will hang on to this. This is a palette that kind of surprised me. This is from the brand Stellar. You can get this at Sephora. This is their Magnetic Eyeshadow Palette. This is the cool toned one. I don't know what they actually call it. It's not shown on the back. I really actually enjoyed this. This formula is kind of different than a lot of the palettes that I have used. Is very thin feeling, the shadows are. So when I first put my finger and then put my brush into them, I thought, oh gosh, these aren't going to show up well. They're very thin, but they actually pack quite a lot of pigment and they blend out really well with a brush. And I made some really pretty cool tone looks, but then I was also able to make some more like everyday looks using some of the browns and the taupes. This shade here has a lot of glitter in it, so you really have to use this kind of as a topper versus a shade on its own, which I'm okay with. But yes, I will definitely be hanging on to this. The last palette I had was the Sofx Makeup Revolution Ultra Eyeshadow Palette. I really enjoyed this mostly for the mattes. So I loved the selection of mattes. I love how they applied. I love the fact that you've got true neutrals, you've got some warmer pinky plummy tones, you've got some taupes, you've got kind of a cinnamon color here, but then you've also got some mattes that are brighter. You've also got a white, and you've got sort of a neutral here. The mattes in this palette were fantastic. The shimmer shades are just okay. I like the colors she picked. I was able to get really pretty looks out of them. That being said, I think this is probably one of my favorite, most well thought out palettes ever, in the sense of being able to create so many different looks and having so many different options. I love the colors that she selected for this palette. I pulled in this little Canyon Classics Physicians Formula Quad. I did use this quite a bit. These two I loved wearing together. This is my Revlon Color Stay. This is in 740, and I can't remember the name of it because they don't put the name on here, but it's this beautiful silvery purple shade. And then this is the L'Oreal Infallible Shadow in Liquid Diamond, which is kind of a similar shade. I paired these together several times and I loved how my eyes turned out. Some ColourPop shadows that I had in here. I had the shade Sundance that I was trying, which was kind of a coppery gold color. I liked this. I will keep it. This is the shade Truth, which is sort of a pearly satin gold color. I liked that as well. This is the shade Hanky Panky, which is a matte shade, and I do like their mattes. People knock their mattes, but I actually really like them. I find with a synthetic brush, I can apply these just as easily as a powder shadow. So loved Hanky Panky. And then the other shade that I had was Brady, which is more of a mauve shade, also matte. Loved that, so keeping all of those. This is a MAC paint pot in Painterly. To be honest, I completely forgot to use this. This is what I use for an eyeshadow base sometimes, so I may leave this in this time. I may just move this over into where I have my other primers. These two single L'Oreal matte shadows, this I was using as a matte sort of setting shade. This is in the shade Mix and Matte. It's just sort of a neutral color. And then this is one of my favorite colors from them. This is Cafe au Lait. It is one of my favorite transition cool tone shades. So love those. We'll probably put these back though. This is the Natasha Denona Crystal Top Coat in Gray Brown. This is really pretty. I can see why people really like these. It's beautiful on its own, but it also looks awesome just tapped over eyeshadows. It's a super high shine finish. And then last but not least, this is the Naked Cosmetics Mother Nature MN06. This is one of those traditional blue-brown pigments. I don't really like their packaging. I think it's really messy. And to be honest, I compared this blue-brown pigment to MAC Blue Brown, and I prefer the MAC Blue Brown, so this one I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass along. See what I mean about messy? Like, I just opened it up and it got powder all over my drawer. Okay, last section, lip products. Let's go through some of these. This is a Kokie Cosmetics lip pencil. This is the shade Dusty Rose. I did not love a lot of the Kokie Cosmetics products I tried, but I tried this lip liner and I freaking love the color, and I also love the creaminess. I liked the packaging. I like the fact that it's got this little kind of grippy area here, so I love this, and I would actually consider purchasing more colors of these. This is the Jordana Twist and Shine Moisturizing Balm Stain in Gorgeous Peony. This is just okay. It doesn't add a ton of color, and it's not super moisturizing. I thought I liked this, but I tried it a couple times, and I just not a fan, so this is going to get decluttered. Another one that is going to get decluttered is this Jordana Sweet Cream Matte. A couple things. It is separating. It's less than a year old, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it is already separating in the container. And then, to be honest, I don't know if it's already gone bad, but like, I remembered liking this formula, and this go round, it was sticking into lip lines really, really a lot drier than I remembered, so I don't know if I just have incorrect memories of these, but I am not a fan. I'm gonna be chucking this one. This is the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Tres Leches. I loved this. And then also the regular butter gloss in Creme Brulee. I love these and I use them a bunch. This is the M Cosmetics Cloud Paint. This is the shade Rose Nude. This is beautiful. I like the texture of these. I loved this color, so that's gonna stay. This is the e.l.f. Barely There in Touch of Berry. I do really like these. It's not necessarily long lasting. It just kind of gives a nice berry stain to the lip. New formula that I love, both the packaging and the formula of. These are the new L'Oreal lipsticks. What are these? Colory Shine. This is in the shade Sparkling Rose. I wore the heck out of this go round. It is really, really pretty, sort of pinky rose shade. Really comfortable on the lips. Has a nice vanilla scent, unlike a lot of the L'Oreal lipsticks. This one actually smells really good. Also love this Flower Beauty. This is in Pink Dusk. These are just awesome formulas. So saturated, so pretty, great color range, great packaging. This is just probably one of the better lipstick formulas now at the drugstore. I did use this. This is the Rosewood shade from the Anthropologie makeup line. It's just a really pretty sort of darker nude. Also wore my Marc Jacobs shade and Goddess, just a really pretty red. Here's another Flower Beauty one. This is in Naked Blush. This is beautiful. Love these. I mean, seriously, love this formula. Can't say enough good things about it. This is the MAC shade in Amorous. I wore this a couple of times. I really do love this shade from MAC. It's sort of a really pretty sort of desaturated cranberry shade. This is the Butter lipstick. in Frizzies. It's really pretty. It's just a little too bright of a hot pink for me to want to wear this time of year. And then this Rimmel Kate, this is in 107. I did not have a chance to wear that, so I think I'm going to keep this in here for the next round. In the back here, this is the Healthy Lip Physicians Formula new liquid lipstick line. I love this. I talked about this formula in a recent drugstore haul. I will link that down below. This is the shade Bear With Me. Had another Flower Beauty liquid lipstick in here. This is in the shade Rosewood. I like this shade better than some of the other ones that I had picked up color-wise. So hanging on to this. This was also one that I reviewed in more detail in that drugstore haul. And then this is the shade Molly from ColourPop. This is just a really pretty, interesting purple sort of orchid color. This is a ColourPop Ultra Satin in the shade Aquarius. This is Kathleen Light shade. This is really pretty. It's pretty pale on me, so I definitely have to use a liner with this. This is the shade Daydream. This was a Matte X formula, and to be honest, I think I've just decided I don't really care for the ColourPop Matte X formula. The color was pretty, so I do think I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one along. Last but not least, this is the Vivid Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is from Maybelline. This is the shade Gray Envy, and this is a really cool toned sort of grayish color. It's really pretty. I like this formula for their lighter and mid-tone shades. I don't think it works as well when it gets to the deeper shades. So that's a review of everything that's in here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the stuff that I am putting back away, and then we'll get ready to kind of add some new things in. I'm pulling out my 2 try products, which I have to admit are kind of getting out of control. So I really do need to make some headway on these 2 try products and get some thoughts and reviews out to you guys. So I'm gonna probably pull mostly products from this 2 try section of my closet versus shopping my stash this time, just to make sure I really get through a lot. That being said, let's start with primers. One that I know I wanna try is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. I have heard everybody and their mother talking about this. I also want to pull in this Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer. This just came in my BoxyCharm, so I'm curious about it. Let's pull this in. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Perfecting Primer. I believe this is the one that Taylor likes so much. For foundations, I'm gonna pull in, I think you say this Liole. This is a BB cream. This is one that I've heard one of my favorite YouTubers talk about. This is Beauty with Emily Fox. This is her favorite BB cream, so I did pick this up on Amazon. I want to try it. And then I also have the new Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation. This is the lightest shade I could find, which is Light Ivory. I don't know if this is the lightest shade or not, but I definitely want to play around with this guy. Let's get this in. So this is the Holika Aqua Petite Jelly BB cream. I have had this before, and I really like the texture of it, but I got the wrong shade. I ended up going back and getting the lightest shade, which is 01. The texture inside is like the strangest texture of life. It's like a jelly in there, if you can see that. So I want to play around with this, and I think that will do me for foundations and primers. Then this is face products. I have quite a few that I actually really want to try. Yes. So this is the new CoverGirl Vitalist Concealer. I wanted to try this. This is in the shade Light Pale. Oh, let's pull this back in. This is the Revlon Youth FX. I tried this a couple times and I put it back in here because I hadn't formed an opinion. I think it's time to form an opinion and either pass it on or keep it in the collection. Bronzer, one I definitely want to try. This is from number 7. This is the shade Golden Sand. This is one of their matte bronzers. Picked this up at Target. I've heard great things about the matte bronzer, so I want to pull that in. And then this is a glowy bronzer from Julep in medium tan. It's got kind of a satin texture. I haven't historically loved all of the powder products that Julep has done face product wise. And then there's a contour product I want to pull in. This is from LA Girl. It has a contour and a highlight, although this is a matte highlight, so it may work for setting under the eyes or potentially just brightening that area, so we'll see how that works. For blushes, one that I know I want to play with, this is the Essence Satin Touch Blush. This is in the shade 30 Satin Bronze. I actually had to order this and pay probably twice the price to get it. This is the shade that's not carried in the United States. Getting this on eBay, it was completely sealed, but it is a really interesting nude blush, and I really wish they carried this because I think it would be their most popular, one of their more popular shades. I also want to play with this. This is a Jordana Triple Play All Over Color. This is supposed to be kind of like the Bite Beauty, what are they called? The multi-sticks, where you can put it on lips, cheeks, or eyes. This is the shade Nude Peach. This is new for Jordana for spring, and I thought the color was really pretty. Let's also pull this in. So this is from Kiko Milani. This is part of their Arctic Holiday, and it's a baked sort of glowy pinky peach blush, so we'll pull that in. I have 3 Jordana blushes here that I've had in here for a while, so let's pull these 3 in as well. Definitely want to pull this in. It's taken all my willpower not to use this. This is the Too Faced Diamond Highlight. Almost looks like a ring box. It's beautiful, so I definitely want to play around with this. I picked this up on Amazon as well. This is from a brand called Nabi, but it's just a really pretty pearlescent highlighter. It doesn't look like it has any glitter or shimmer in it, so we'll pull this in. I'm cheating a little bit with the eye section, mostly because my eye bin of products to try is full to overflowing, so I've just gone ahead and pulled out the things that I know I want to try. These are the last 4 ColourPop shadows that are new to my collection that I want to try, so I'm going to pull those in. And then the other single I want to pull in is this Tarte Chrome Paint. This is in Top Yacht, and I've heard nothing but awesome things about this, so I want to use this. This is a little bit of a cheat because, to be honest, I traveled with this over the holidays because I wanted something that was going to be super punchy and metallic. But this is the Chocolate Gold palette. I do want to play with this more. I have used this probably 3 or 4 times, but I do want to get some more love out of this. This is an e.l.f. brow and liner, shadow brow and liner palette. I don't see myself using this for brows. I may try it. I'm not a huge brow powder girl, but I did really like the collection of mattes that were in here, and I thought this might be fun to pull in. And then I also got an e.l.f. This is a single cream shadow. This is in the shade Metallic Mocha. This is a Winky Lux palette that is exclusive to Nordstrom that I picked up that was incredibly affordable and had really pretty cool toned shades in it that I thought was absolutely stunning. And after the success that I had with the Winky Lux palette that was in BoxyCharm, I sought this out to give it a shot. This is also from the Arctic Holiday line from Kiko. This is a double-ended eye pencil that I wanted to try. It had a really pretty burgundy shade that I didn't think I had in my collection, and then it had a which was matte. And then on the other end, it had sort of a metallic olive green. So I thought that was really cool combo. And then last but not least, I broke down and got this. This is the Marc Jacobs Iconic palette that they put out at holiday when it was on sale. And then I think I ended up getting this at Neiman Marcus because they were running it pretty significantly on sale, and they had a coupon, and then they were also doing Ebates at like, I don't know, 10% or 15% or something obscene like that. So I ended up getting a huge amount of money back on eBay. I have not bought any of his new eyeshadow formulas. I thought this might be a good way to try some of his colors. Guys, so I went to go edit the everyday makeup drawer video, and I realized that I hadn't hit record on my lip products. So this is actually one day later. I thought I would just pull out this tray of lip products and show you guys what I put in. I did have 2 of these new L'Oreal, what are these? The Colory Shines. I had one in there for last month, and I have 2 more colors. I have the shade Varnished Rosewood, which is a really pretty sort of muted plum color. I thought was really pretty. And then I also have the shade Shining Peach, which looked more nude than the one I had tried last go round. I also pulled in my Snow White lipstick from Besame. This is in the shade Snow White Red. It's just a really pretty, bright, sort of classic red lipstick. This is one of the new Maybelline, what are these? The powder matte formulas. They only had like 6 colors, and I wasn't in love with any of the colors, to be honest, but I thought I would give this one a whirl. This is a very, very matte formula. That's the shade Nocturnal Rose. And then I left in the Kate one, which you guys saw from my drawer review. And then this is a liquid lipstick, but it just happens to fit there. This is one of the Smashbox new metallic liquid lipsticks, and this is in the shade Rust Fund. And this is just a really cool sort of, I don't know, rusty nude shade. It had a lot of peach to it. I thought it could be a really pretty shade. This is the new NYX Powder Puff Lippy. I wanted to try one of these. This is the shade Moody. This is just a really pretty sort of mauve color. And then another new NYX product is their duochromatic. I got the shade in the New Normal and it's a little more pink. I ordered this online. It's a little more pink than I was hoping to, like it's really baby pink. This is a gloss from ColourPop. This is the Kathleen Lights ColourPop. This is in Moonchild. It's got kind of a silver shimmer to it and it's a very nude gloss, so always good to have a nude gloss, and I do like the ColourPop gloss formula. And then this is from Milani. This is their Amore Shine. This is new for spring, and this is kind of a fully saturated kind of gloss. So I wanted to give that a whirl. And then this is a product I just had sitting around for a while. This is from Treseek. This is their Matte Color and Shiny Balm Crayon. So on one end there's kind of a shiny balm, and then on the other end there is a matte pencil, and I thought this was just a really pretty shade. I put in that Charlotte Tilbury lipstick that I unboxed in my lucky bag from Beautylish, so that is in here. I've got the other two Kathleen Lights Ultra Satin lips that she launched for the Dream Street collection. This is Dreamy, which is a really sort of warm shade. We'll see how that actually looks on my skin tone. And then this, which is called Riviere, and this is just a bright orange. This may be a shade I prefer more in the summertime. I had one more of the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Lip. I love this formula. This is the shade Merlot. It's sort of a really pretty plum color. And then these are the new CoverGirl Melting Pout Mattes. I got Ballerina, which is the lighter shade, and Secret, which is the darker one. So those are the two colors there. And then last but not least is an Eau for liquid lipstick. This is from Ipsy. I don't know what color this is. It doesn't actually say. I do like the Eau for liquid lipsticks though, and I thought this was a really pretty rosy mauve color. That is what is in my lip collection this go round. So I'm gonna go ahead and load everything in the drawer, and then I will show you what we're working with. Okay, so here is the drawer all set up. I've probably pulled too many face products again. That seems to be my biggest weakness, but I think everything's fit in here pretty well. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this drawer, and I'm excited to play around with all of the new stuff that I've got. If you like these kinds of everyday makeup drawers, shop my stash kinds of videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what things you guys have been trying lately, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thanks, bye.